Right, I'm going to make a short video to explain how to use Microsoft Forms. Forms is part of the online Office suite and it's free to use. You might need to sign up for an Office account, but you don't need to pay anything to do that. And it allows you to create quizzes and questionnaires and things like that. And we've made some at school. You've obviously been using them to do rapid maths, rapid spag and so on. We've made some quizzes at school and the children really enjoyed doing it. So it might be something you'd like to do with the children at home as well. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is just think about whether you want a form or a quiz. A form tends to be something like a questionnaire where there aren't right or wrong answers, and a quiz tends to be a quiz where there are, and we've generally been using the quiz type. So I'm going to use a quiz to show an example. So I click on New Quiz and it creates a blank page that looks something like this, and I can write a title for my quiz, so perhaps it's going to be about the Victorians. And so I would write that in there, and then I could write quiz and explain what the quiz is about. You can add images to go with your quizzes, and then once you've set up the initial part, you go to Add New in order to add your first question. So I'm clicking on Add New, and what you get is a choice of the type of question. Choice is where there are one or more choices that the person answering the questions would choose. So it might be, if it was a maths question, it might be the answers and some that are correct and some that are incorrect, and you can choose the right one. If it's text, that means they need to type something in to answer the question. Now, obviously, you need to try and think about the different things that someone might write in their answer in order for them to mark it correctly. And then the third example we'd probably be using is rating, where someone gives a star rating, maybe about their confidence with something or whether they enjoyed doing something. All date does is actually allow them to say the date of something. The other one, Likert, allows you to have a table where there are multiple different choices where you can select different responses depending on the question. The ones we've typically been using have been choice of text and then perhaps rating at the end. So I'm going to add a new question. I'm going to start with a choice question, and the first thing you need to do is obviously enter the actual question. Again, as before, you can enter in a picture. I'll do an example of that in a moment. So my first question is going to be, when did Queen Victoria die? Question mark. And I realise I'm not spelling this correctly. There we go. And then I have to put in the options. So I'm going to say 1899, 1900, and then I can add a third or multiple more options, 1901. And I also need to say which is the correct answer, and children in year 2 will remember that she died in 1901. So I would tick that one, and that then assigns that as the correct answer. I can say how many points I want to give that question. So perhaps I'm going to say that's worth 5 points. I can decide whether it's required to answer the question, and generally I'm saying that it's required to answer all of them. That way we can answer all questions. And multiple answers is where there are multiple correct answers. In this case, there would only be one correct answer, so it wouldn't make sense to have any additional ones. And if I was finished with that question now, I could click on Add New to add a new one. I can also preview what my quiz would look like so far. So if I click on Preview, you can see this is what it would look like when someone tries to submit it, and they would have to choose their answer, and notice that they don't anymore see which one is the correct answer until after they've submitted it. If I go back, it will take me back to the quiz. So I'm going to add a new question now and choose a different one, different style of question, and I'm also going to add an image to show you how to do that. So clicking Add New will add a second question, and this time we're going to choose a text question, which requires you to type in a text answer. So for example, I could write, who was Queen Victoria's husband? Question mark. And here is the box for the person who would be answering the question. So I need to add in the answers. So I can add in Albert as an answer, and then I can add in other answers. It's not case sensitive, so even though Albert should have a capital A, the fact that I haven't included one means that someone who types it incorrectly with a capital A will still get the correct answer. I might want to write Prince Albert. That's also a valid answer, and that's that question done. If I wanted to add in an image to go with this question, then here, where the little image icon appears, I can click on that, and I can say I want to insert an image. I can search for Queen Victoria and Albert, and do a search. And then I'm going to say I want that image, and I'm going to add it into my quiz. And you can see now that the picture has appeared, so that might give someone a clue, it might remind them. And you can see, because I'm in the creating part, it tells you the correct answer. So if someone types in Albert or Prince Albert, they would get that question correct. But if they typed in, I don't know, King Albert, then that would be incorrect, and so they wouldn't get the mark. And again, if I preview my quiz, I can see now that I have 2 questions, both of which are required. That's what the little star means. One of which is a choice type question, and one of which is an enter your answer type question. And then once I had finished filling that in, I would click submit, and that would submit my answers if I was taking the quiz. And that's basically all there is to it. You can continue to add new questions. You can have ones where there's multiple answers, multiple correct answers. Sometimes you have to think carefully about what the correct answer might be that someone types in, but clearly there are some questions where there might be hundreds of possible answers that someone might type in, and you can't think of all of them, so you would just have to do your best. It would be great to see some quizzes being created linked to our inquiries, as it's a really good opportunity for children to practice the knowledge that they've learnt during those inquiries, and to kind of reinforce it in other learners as well. And if you want to create one, after you have done so, you can share, and here you would get a link where you would copy the link, and then that might be perhaps added to the Year 2 Twitter, or you could send it to the Year 2 mailbox, and then we could upload it onto our website for other people to attempt your quiz. It would be great to see some quizzes coming. If there are any questions, you can send me an email, and I will do my best to answer. Thanks. And finally, to get to forms in the first place, the easiest way is just to Google. So I'm going to type in forms, and then the top result is Google Forms, because Google have their own kind of forms tool. You could use that one as well. The one we've been using at school is Microsoft Forms, and if I click on the link here, then it will take me through to my forms, because I'm already logged in. As I said, you may be asked to sign up initially for a Microsoft account, but after that it's free to use, and that should be it.